Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. Baseball season is in full swing. Less than half the season left. We've got a nice little promo code for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. The code is NFL20. We're talking Mariners and Giants in this one. Giants are minus 160. The total is 8.5. It's LJ Newsome, the letter L and then J, on the mound with a 2.57 ERA facing Logan Webb. Mariners have won 3 straight versus the Rangers entering Monday night on a 5-game win streak entering Monday night as well. And then you've got the Giants coming off a series against the Diamondbacks. Scott Rickenbach, anything that jumps off the page when you look at this Mariners and Giants game?
Yes, I've got a couple of young pitchers here in terms of their experience level, looking at these starting pitchers in this matchup. And Newsome gets the start here for the Mariners. And he is making his first start in 11 days. That's not easy to do, and especially when it's only your second major league start. And this is a guy that in the minor leagues, 30 and 32 career record in the minor leagues with an ERA north of 4. Now, I'm not knocking him too much, but I'm just saying those types of numbers in the minor leagues is not normally the type of guy that comes up and just blows hitters away at the major league level. And I think he could struggle some here. And speaking of struggles, looking at Webb with the Giants, he's been roughed up in 4 of his last 5 starts. He did have one good start in there against Arizona, but the other 4 starts have totaled less than 17 innings, and yet he's given up 17 runs, 14 earned in those 4 starts. So if you look at the law of averages, says that he's got an 80% chance of getting roughed up here in this start, and that's what I'm looking for. He's facing a Seattle team that has averaged 6 runs per game in their last 4 games. They just had this 4-game sweep over the Rangers, and again, averaging 6 runs per game. And then for the Giants, we're talking about a team that has entered the Monday night game for them, averaging having scored at least 4 runs in each of their last 8 games. So every single game, at least getting to that number of 4. And that's a key number for us here because you get a game to 4-4 and you play an over, which is what I'm recommending here. This totals at 8.5. You get each team to 4 runs, you can't lose. So I'm definitely looking for each team to get to that number in this one because I expect both starters to struggle. And the other thing about the Giants in that 8-game streak of 4 runs or more in each game that they scored, so they averaged 7 runs per game during that 8-game stretch. And again, that was entering Monday night. I'm looking for the bats to stay alive on Tuesday night with some good hitting in this one.
I think both of these teams have hit a lot better than people had expected when we're talking about the season as a whole. Yastrzemski, obviously for the Giants, has been the big surprise for them. And he's a lefty facing a righty in this one. I think he'd have a couple hits. And then on the Mariners side, you've got Kyle Lewis has been a huge surprise and one of the better hitters in all of baseball right now. So I think just as a whole, both of these teams' offenses have been a lot better as expected. And as you mentioned, we've got 2 young pitchers, and these 2 teams don't have, the best bullpens of most of the teams around. So I would imagine both these starters probably aren't going to go super deep in the game. As we've seen across baseball, most starters aren't going past 5 in general, even if they're doing really well. So leaving it to the bullpens and over sounds pretty good.
Absolutely. Like you said, these are not the type of stud pitchers that are going to go out there and pitch 6 or 7 innings. And with those bullpens both being a little bit shaky, we should see runs early, often, and throughout this contest, in my opinion. So should get over that rather low total. Again, we get a good number here because the game's being played at San Francisco, but both lineups should do plenty of damage in this one.
Well, that's going to do it for Mariners and Giants talk here on Picks and Parlays. Good stuff from Scott Rickenbach. As always, thanks for joining us, Scott.